All right, toy fans. So let's actually. I picked this particular setup on TikTok. Now, this is. I'm going to say it's my first official Sluban set, even though that's not exactly the case. We had a tank, or I had a tank that I put together that had Sluban characters in it, and there was a sticker sheet that had Sluban on it, and I was like, obviously this is Sluban, except here's the kicker. The kicker was it did not come in a box. It was an Amazon special that I got. And so I got it on Amazon. It came with packed in with a motorcycle that had nothing to do with the Sluban brand. The tank was Sluban, the other piece was not. So it's like one of those things. It was like an Amazon special. So I never really attributed it to Sluban, but this is a actual Sluban set. Now this was one that I picked up on the TikTok app shop, and I was like, you know what, I have a tram. Like I'm putting together a tram from Lumabricks, and Lumabricks is, without a doubt, hands down, an amazing company. Let's go ahead and get that out there. It is a lot of the stuff that they build and do. It is really just well built. It is beautiful, beautiful sets. This is not gonna be on that level. However, there were some things that I saw in this. I was like, hey, this is one of those. Had like a coupon that took off several dollars. It came out with shipping and everything like 14 bucks. Pretty cheap. I was like, I'm going to take a chance on it. I know that it fits. It's with our regular compatible brand stuff. So it obviously already fits with Lego and Lumi and, Brickcraft and Block Tech and even Make It Bricks. They all fit together. They are standard sized bricks. So if they fit together, I'm going to take a chance and see what I get out of this, see what's worth building, what's not. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you my particular set. When I was opening up the box and I was taking out the packages, I started recording this and we had issues. So I, did not get to see the build, but probably a good thing. One piece fell out on the floor and I couldn't find it. I think it looked like a white piece. I think that was our 1x1 tile that went missing. But then into the build, I also noticed that there's a 1x2 black tile that was also missing. So I have one piece in here that's not a 1x2 black tile. Instead, it is modified slightly, and it has to do with this cheese wedge up here on the front of this tram. So I want you to keep that in mind. When you get yours, you're like, well, mine didn't come with the cheese wedge. It doesn't. That's me altering it because I could not find another 1x2 black wet or tile in my collection. Instead, all I had was this cheese wedge. Okay, with this, let's go ahead and take a look at this box. We'll put our sample over to the side. Now, this is, of course, our Sluban box. It's Girl's Dream M38 B1018, 347 pieces. It says ages 6 to 10. I don't know. I mean, it's, yeah, 6 to 10 would be fine, though there were some techniques in here that I felt needed a heavy adult hand sort of touch to push the pieces together. But yeah, I guess I could see it. It's fairly simple. The tree that could be complicated for sure. So this is a part of the Happy Diary. It's the Sakura Festival. This is a tram. It says build your own story, and of course we got a picture of the tram, the Sakura or the Japanese schoolgirls with the stop, and some kites and a cherry blossom tree, etc. Of course, we got some pictures on the side. On the back, it has build your own story. Again, build your own story, this whole thing. And you get pictures of the tram, of the tram stop, play features, your minifigs. Now, it did say it came with a brick separator, and it's in this shape of an alligator. I was totally looking forward to having a brick separator that was an alligator. It was not in that box. I was cheated Sluban, you cheated me out of my alligator brick separator. It was very sad. Very, very sad. But, I kind of got over it. On this side, I would show you the barcode, but there's no barcode. Like I said, I got this in the TikTok shop. I was actually about to open up. I think I can apply for the TikTok shop on my account, so I might be opening that up here pretty soon and start putting some of these builds that I build inside my shop there as well. If I happen to find this on Amazon or anything, I'll update it and I'll put it down in the show notes below. But yeah, I've never seen this except for on TikTok that one time. All right, now that's the box. There's really nothing else we're going to learn about the box. We're going to put our box right up here. Now, this tray is mine. This brick separator was mine, so we'll kind of get that out of the way. We do get a few extra pieces and parts. Now, I found this butterfly. I think that goes to something else. As a matter of fact, that's a broken butterfly. And yes, it does go to something else. We do have a whole variety of parts here. Now, I have this one gray 1x2 tile left over. This is what our phone sticker is supposed to go on. I didn't read the directions. I put mine on black. So that's where my extra 1x2 black tile had gone, is I'd put it on the phone. I think it looks better on the phone anyways as far as the black tile versus the gray. So I'm not at all upset or angry about the fact that I did that this time. You do get this sticker sheet. Now all the stickers are already done. You know it's Sluban because you got Sluban and M38 right there. That's one of those key things we're coming back to. That's, I think, how we're identifying that these are Sluban parts, is because when you get down to it and you start looking at the studs on the plates, it'll actually say M38. Now our booklet, it's pretty basic stuff. You got how to put these things together. You got color guides. You got all sorts of things. Now, unfortunately, none of the bags are numbered, so you kind of dump everything out. And there are often multiple steps where you have multiple parts and you're putting a lot together in one singular piece. That can be a little unnerving. It's not bad, and it's not anything that's too difficult, but it might be difficult for a kid. And I think that's why I want to bring that up, is because as much as I'm going to sit here and shout and say, I love this. There's some aspects of this that I don't feel I could actually suggest to a kid. I'm looking at this, I'm like, it's cute. I think it'd be great. I think there's some girls that, especially in my school, that would love this. But some of the build is kind of complicated. Some of the clutch power for the plates and bricks are a little too much, that you almost have to have not even an adult hand, but an adult male, old man, working construction worker kind of guy sort of clutch on these. And I think that's something that's like, hey, that might be too much. Let's actually look at the toy. Okay. Now, all in all, I did pick this up because I did want to have another area of public transportation. I think I made a short of it. Where I've got my tram from Luma Bricks. I got my bus and bus stop from Luma Bricks. I was like, I'm all about public transportation. I need something else. So I was going to have this running along the coast, and I'm going to make kind of tracks for it, etc., etc., etc. So I was like, this is going to be just a small unit to run, one direction on my little city. And I'll incorporate this in. But I wanted to review it before I did all that. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, but I think what we're getting for the price that we're getting, if we're looking at a younger age set, and we're only wanting to spend in the $20 range or less being the key word here, I think that this is fine. It hits on all cylinders. If you were going to spend more on it, that's where I start to question our decisions. Now, Sluban has a lot of their own pieces and parts. Now, they are similar to what we normally have. But what I'm going to say is right here on the leaves, and we'll kind of turn this so we can see it. Right here on the leaves, we do have the 6x5 leaf with the extra studs on it. One key thing that they make different is instead of having just a 1x1 round plate that's molded in, it's actually a 1x1 rounded flower plate, so it has texture on it. Those particular stud areas do not have holes in them, so you can't actually peg them down. I say that because I kind of got over here. I did mod this a little bit, and this leaf kept breaking off the top because it was studded into a stud over here. Anti-stud on it wasn't very sharp, so I was like, I'll just put a pin through it. But no pin would go through because on those there's no hole. So instead I had to go through a side. That's something that you definitely want to keep in mind. I'm all about, building, and this is great stuff for cherry blossom. I might make one cherry blossom in my entire city. A lot of this is going to be used, including probably a lot of the parts from the pink and white pieces from the builder kit, as well as a majority of some of the pieces from the cherry blossoms from Lego. This would work with it. But the problem is that there's nothing to peg into these. So there's some limitation to what they can do. Okay, over here we do have, of course, our base here. The tree and the way the tree is put together is actually pretty nice. Pretty sturdy. Nothing too crazy about it. This roof here is cool. I like it. Pretty much all this I like. There is a bit of a weak point here in this bus stop when you pull on this, but you really have to kind of hit it or pull it. These signs are fine, though I do feel like they break off quite often. Not quite sure about the design of this bench over here. I think that's a little weird. One key thing that I thought was kind of weird about our minifigures is they made here, we'll kind of pull our minifigures apart. The Sluban minifigures are vastly different than what we're used to. Yeah, so you got leg portions here, and they're kind of on they're hinged, but I believe they're on like a ball joint. We do have anti-studs on the back, but they don't hold too well. Like, they fall off pretty easily. But what's holding them together is you've got this one head that's on a ball joint that goes to the body and pegs in. One thing I thought was kind of weird is all of this is in the nude color. And I figured they would have made this in like white or blue, something to match in with the skirt, so it didn't feel so naked, I guess you could say. But it does feel rather weird putting on them, that it's completely nuded legs and nuded bottom torso as well. And that probably should have been molded into a color. But with that, we do have one of our Sakura or our schoolgirls. I gave her the flowers. I think I had them backwards. I think one's supposed to have the phone, the other's supposed to have the flowers. But you have hinged articulation in the arm. You got kind of a ball jointing on the hand, ball jointing on the head, though it is a very, very stiff joint. And then, of course, the hinging on the legs here. Anti-studs on the bottom and the back. Out of that, we do have this roof that's supposed to open up. Now, this roof is supposed to open up, and you notice how everything's pulling up. There are some needs to fix some things. Drastically fix some things. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pull our conductor here. We do get our little conductor guy. He's got, of course, another rocking head, but also very, very stiff. Now, a lot of these parts are compatible with Lego. That's something to keep in mind. He does have this over vest area that goes over his body, and then he's got the gray legs here. Now, I had him inside here, and he's running that handle for our tram. Let's see if I can push him back in there. Kind of get on where he needs to go. There you go. And then on the back, we get, of course, our other schoolgirl. This time, she's got red hair. Now, this is a softer plastic, and something I bring up is the fact that this oftentimes feels like it's wanting to fall off. It pulls up quite a bit. Same as the other. We got the new legs on the bottom. This one comes with the tile with the phone. Again, I probably have them backwards, but I think I gave her the phone and I gave her the flowers. I don't know. I'm picking one or the other, honestly. It doesn't matter. I could switch them out later. I'll probably put them together and have them both sitting at the station and doing like waiting on the tram. Now the tram itself, it is set up to where this is supposed to pop on and on as a plate. It gets caught very often. Now we've got just these corner studs here, which is nice, but again, you have it here, it's all flush. When you go to pull it, you're pulling up individual tiles or pulling up, the other part of the roof. There's nothing here to distinguish it to make it like break apart naturally to get in there. And still, when you get in there, you're really having to force your fingers in to figure out where everything's at. So that's something to keep in mind. We do have these unique doors, and I say unique because look, they are framed in here. Instead of being one full like door space, it is on a partial that goes around. It's a very interesting way to build this. Something I was very kind of confused about. Also, in our windows, instead of getting windows that are, in essence, one pane that clips in, these have one stud at the top of the bottom, and that allows us actually to open these windows up, which I thought, I don't think that's what they had in mind, but I did think that was kind of a cool feature. On the bottom, we get these teeny tiny wheels. Now this will just kind of roll on any surface. The harder the surface, the better. I, however, am probably going to be making mine where it's going to be rolling on tiles, and I'll be kind of bearing it down, so this should line up with the ground for people to get on and off. And I'll actually mod it up more to add more things to it because I want us to have more stuff on the top. We get the 306 in the front, 306 in the back. A lot of the designs the same. I did change this because this is supposed to be repeated back here, but instead I turned it with the light over here. And I think I'm going to set that to wherever the station is sitting, that's the way the light needs to be on one side and not the other. Now, the cherry tree is very fun. It's got some movable parts, but for the most part it's there as a look. This little chair I'm confused about. And the signs are all stickers. So everything here that's decorated on that level, it's all stickers. There's nothing here to distinguish it otherwise. So we do have stickers. We do have some interesting building techniques. We have interesting minifigures that I'm sure a lot of people would absolutely downright be disgusted by. I think they're okay. They are minifigure size. They fit with the Lego minifigures well. Hair pieces, and I think that's pretty much it. Hair pieces will fit with the other figures, and that's something to keep in mind because you do want some of that to be compatible from one to the other, which I'm always happy with. Now, as far as this set overall, it's not bad. I think, again, what you're paying, if you're paying in the range of something less than $20, this is great. There's nothing wrong with it. This would be a nice thing for you to put together with your kid. I think that there probably does need to be some adult supervision because, again, some of the techniques are kind of odd. And I'm sure that there would be some kids that would be scratching their head going, we do what again? And that's something to keep in mind. But if you do come across it, and let's say you have a little girl that wants to do a tram station or something like that, this would be a fun introduction into building. This would be a fun addition to any sort of building. The colors are actually nice on it. I like it. They're bright, they're vibrant, they're fun. I definitely see potential in adding this into my Lego City. So I think it's well worth it. Like I said, if I happen to find this on shop or I'm able to open up my TikTok shop, put it in, I'll put the links down in the affiliate notes or the affiliate links down in the notes, but I'm not there. What you can do if you do want to help the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification so you can be notified of anything that comes from me to you. Definitely comment down below. I like talking with you all. I think this is a pretty good find, pretty good build. Reach out to me and you're asking where it is. I might try to help you find it. I usually try as much as I can to get product back to people's hands. And I'm hoping that this helps you in your decision on whether you want to get this or not. Okay. The other thing is, I think I said like it. Lets YouTube know that you like what I'm making, that sort of stuff. Those little things, they help. If you go to my bio, you go to my link tree there, hitting the LumaBricks affiliate link, that helps. Looking to see if there's anything on the Amazon City wish list that you're wanting to help with, get purchased, send to me. I will give you those shout outs. I appreciate people that do get those things because I do get a little bit of a kickback on it, and it helps the channel move and it helps me buy samples. But it also helps because that also helps the algorithm know that you're liking those things that I am making. So I do appreciate any and all clicks that you're giving me. I think that they're wonderful. And I appreciate you all showing up to watch this review. All right. That's all I got to say about the Sluban Girls Dream Happy Diary Sakura Festival original minifigure build your own story tram. That's a lot to say. And there's actually never been an actual name for this. I just call it the Happy Sakura Festival tram because I think that's probably the most appropriate. All right. You all, thank you all for showing up. I love you all. Jesus Oshimura. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the build and happy brick hunting.